Hello, my name is Miles, and I will be doing my final project. And so for my video, I decided that I wanted to have Rocket League going in the background because something I'm comfortable with, and I put a lot of time into. And I put about like 1,500 hours into it, so this is what that looks like. And yeah, hopefully it's just I've heard that it's nice to watch in the background of stuff, and people are kind of mesmerized by it. So hopefully it's interesting enough to be playing. And so there you go. Yeah, so as for like who I am, compared to like digital and physical, I feel like honestly there's not that big of a difference between me and both. I feel like I act the same way. Yeah, like I feel like I've known people who like they seem to change and they're like complete jerks online or like really shy in real life then really loud online. Like I feel like I'm just kind of shy in both. Like usually when people get to know me, like that's when I start to get more outgoing. But it happens with both. Like I'll be shy with random people in real life and in the game, or and on like chats things. But then once I get to know them, I'll start making like a lot more jokes and probably a lot more like flaming. But I mean, as in like jokes and stuff. I don't actually flame, I swear. But so yeah, I also feel like I don't really change my like ethic at all in either. Like I feel like I always try to do my best in both. I don't like go on digital culture and act like totally different person, like don't care or anything, or like I don't go into real life and don't care and then come on digital spaces and start to care a ton. Like I think I usually try to just be myself through both. And like social networking wise, I'm pretty big on Instagram and YouTube, Facebook, and then I also recently joined an Amino group. It's on Ruby, like the Rooster Teeth TV series, so like that's pretty fun. And other than that, I've kind of been on Reddit a little bit, but not as much as like Instagram. Like I'm on that all the time. And as my patterns of use, it's usually when I'm not like in my free time, when I'm not doing homework or playing video games, I'll be on the social networking stuff. And usually I'm on YouTube or Instagram. Like Instagram, I look for like jokes and like comics and stuff. So I usually follow these like comic groups on Instagram where they just have like a few like a slideshow of different cartoon jokes like in the newspapers. Like those are I really like enjoying seeing those, and then seeing a lot of different memes and stuff. I just really really enjoy those. And I guess yeah. So when I'm not using games or when I'm not playing games, because that's definitely the majority of my time is spent on playing games. Um, like my life is definitely affected by online culture because it is the majority of my free time, whether it be games or social networking. I mean, I'm on, like usually games just like it's by far my favorite hobby. So whenever I have free time, I'm always playing them. Uh, I guess just a lot of like the stuff I talk about comes from online when I'm having conversations. Like if it's not school, it's definitely gonna be about like some meme I found or some review of a movie or some other news that came from online. I guess I don't really talk about that much stuff that's not online, if that makes sense. So that was interesting to think over. As for my digital world, I guess discoveries, I've kind of realized like I'm usually just on Twitch whenever I watch streams, but it's kind of interesting to see that there's so many more streaming websites. Especially that one I was talking about, I forgot what it was called, but it was over like the Fortnite thing. It was like the Hype Zone had that. Like that was really fun to see, even though I've never used it. I'm glad there's other streaming sites. And then I've also recently watched a video from the Score Esports, and they were talking about how when China got like league teams and stuff, they were all sponsored by different streaming sites. So like streaming sites were really big there, and there was dozens compared to just like one, which everybody uses in like the U.S. as far as I see. I also discovered like there's just a lot more than my own interests in these websites. So it's good. It's kind of good to remember that there's so much more, and like I see like just a fraction of what's online because everybody has their own interests, and then they can find tons of stuff on what they like. And I guess just having the websites cater to your views and what you want, it kind of puts you in a little hole. Because like I mostly just see like gaming stuff now, and like maybe smart stuff because I've started looking at those. So like on YouTube or Instagram, my suggestion is all just like games. But so like that, like, that's what I see. Like that's all I see usually. So it's good to be reminded that there's more than that, and that It's everybody can find their own stuff on it. I guess as like digital cultures, I definitely think there are, like just looking at like gamers and maybe like artists, like there's a huge difference between like what they look at and like what they follow, and even like in their own like the subgenres and stuff. Like so games, you know, you'd have like your first-person shooter culture and your RTS culture. You know, like I've kind of been a part of both, but I've never really like I haven't like interacted with both. Like I've played a ton of both, but you can definitely tell like what they care about and what they talk about all the time, and it's kind of like their attitudes. Same with like art, you know, like seeing maybe like realistic art compared to like anime or sci-fi concept art and stuff like that. Like there's just a huge difference between what they like and follow and how they act around each other. I mean, there's like similarities where it's like gamers always talking about games and artists like post their art and all that, but just kind of what they care about is a lot different. And so like for the historic aspect, I definitely think celebrities have the biggest impact. Just I mean, just seeing like Twitter and Instagram and all that, and like Facebook, you just see like celebrities or big companies that everybody follows. Like that's where a lot of people get their news and like find out stuff. So like you'll have some for gamers, you'll have some big YouTuber talk about a new game coming out and like here's some controversy, and like that's where you get your information from. So I feel like they definitely have the biggest impact in like spreading news and ideas, and like that's where a lot of people congregate around, is like the chats in their YouTube or stream, or like on Twitter, just like the comments and stuff and retweets. Like that's where it all gets like spread around and the big stuff gets found. Just like citizens, like just like it's just kind of interesting looking at like Reddit and Instagram. Like it's just totally different, because you know Instagram's more of like, I want to say like trending stuff. Like that's where that like the trending stuff gets big, but then Reddit's kind of similar to other smaller websites where it's more about like creativity and like the origins of the content. It's like it'll start out on these smaller websites and then go to places like Instagram where it's really big, or like Twitter. That's kind of how I see it. And then also just like the kind of more censorship on Instagram, so like, you know, a lot less extreme content. Like there's a lot less restrictions on Reddit and a lot more freedom of what you can post and talk about. So I feel like that kind of has an impact too on like the citizenship. And then role wise, I actually think there's like the consumer and like creator side. You know, consumers there to like consume the content, and like they're the ones who are liking stuff and retweeting and getting the views. And then the creators are the people who are coming up with the original content. You know, like they can be like big or small. And then like I feel like I don't really know what to call like if you're like in between, like maybe you create and you consume. I guess it's kind of like, I guess you can assume that creators consume too, because like, you know, watching like what people like and seeing what the competition's doing. So I guess creator just kind of like encapsulates both. Other than that, like moderators, definitely moderators, like usually just from the sites themselves, they'll have like their company to moderate and make sure all the rules are followed through and nobody just being a jerk the whole time. And then I guess my role, like I think I'm just gonna continue to be a gamer. Like I really enjoy following all this stuff. I find it really interesting, and I like finding new tactics in like a lot of online multiplayer games. Like I don't really play League of Legends that much anymore, but I still watch the video just because it's so fun to just kind of see how it's progressing and like what new strategies there are and how you can outsmart your opponent and all that. Like it's just, I really find it enjoyable. And I'm kind of getting into streaming and YouTube a little bit, so I think I'll try to be more of a creator in the future. Like I enjoy this. Like I enjoy sitting in front of the camera and talking, just kind of giving my thoughts. So I'm hoping to continue on that in the future. And twitch.tv/CollegeBuster. Shameless plug. And like my suggestions for anybody like coming in, like you just gotta think of it as what it is. Like, why are you there? Like it's usually just to find your interests and follow your interests. So like that's kind of what you need to do, is just find what you like, and then just like get in those communities and talk about it, and you know, just find ways to enjoy it. Cause that's what like that's what I see that's kind of all about. It's just kind of expanding what you like about something and finding more things you like and interacting with other people that do that. Yeah, I also suggest like anything that like upsets you or anyone. Like it's just like there's no need to interact with it. Like there's no need to get in the way of like your enjoyment of the digital space. So I just say to like ignore stuff like that. and then I'd be fine. Just keep following what you like about it. And I guess for the future, I kind of see it as like the next step from globalization. So like when travel was kind of publicized, you know, and everybody can go anywhere they want, and like phones and email and all that. I feel like this is kind of the next step. Like it's just a lot more instantaneous and a lot more information than just voice or just words can get transferred at once. So I feel like it's definitely the next step from that. And yeah, you know, I think it definitely will have an impact, like easily, like it already does. Have more of an impact. I don't know about that, but like it's already pretty darn huge. But yeah, and I guess final thoughts, like definitely really enjoy online stuff. Like it's how I get a lot of my information. It's how I connect with like a lot of my friends, especially because I kind of I went to Boise instead of like someplace in California, so I'm definitely not around friends much. But it's like a way to keep in contact and like still be able to play games with them. And I just, you know, it's just a hobby I love, and as video games. And I hope to keep doing that, and I hope other people can find what they enjoy about the internet too. Yeah, that's all I have. Thank you.